Millions of American taxpayers scrambled today to get their returns in on time. The annual deadline came against the backdrop of a growing discussion about who should pay what in taxes.
Too many people no longer recognize that private wealth creation requires public investment. Yeah.
Tax Filing Day 2012 brought protests and rallies around the country, both for tax cuts and tax fairness. The issues are intertwined and have become key debating points in Congress and in the presidential campaign. In recent days, President Obama pushed again for tax fairness in the form of the so-called Buffett rule.
You might have heard of this, but Warren Buffett is paying a lower tax rate than his secretary. Now that's wrong. That's not fair.
The president wanted a minimum 30% tax rate on people making more than $1 million a year.
I'm saying you're bringing in $1 million or more a year. Then what the rule says is you should pay the same percentage of your income in taxes as middle-class families do. And if we do that, then it makes it affordable for us to be able to say, for those people who make under $250,000 a year, like 98% of American families do, then your taxes don't go up.
But the Senate, voting largely along party lines, rejected that approach last night. And Republicans dismissed it today as little more than an election year gimmick.
What we've seen happen this week with the so-called Buffett rule is transparent to the American people. It pretends like they are not smart enough to understand exactly the gamesmanship that's going on here, and that the president is not serious about dealing with the big problems that the country confronts.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid replied that Republicans were playing games of their own.
While obstruction remains the Republicans' top priority, it's followed closely by throwing a lot of kisses to the wealthiest Americans.
So you guys have already...
But the tax debate continued along the presidential campaign trail today. Republican Mitt Romney, appearing in Pennsylvania, called again for extending the Bush-era tax cuts on the wealthy and for cutting income tax rates by an extra 20%.
I know the Democrats will, day in and day out, say, oh, they're for tax cuts for the rich. It's like, no, I'm going to keep the burden on high-income people the same share of the burden it is today. If they pay, X percent of the tax burden today, why they're going to pay the same X percent tomorrow.
And it's not just the presidential election adding urgency to the tax debate. Separate tax cut packages for the middle class, enacted under both the Bush and Obama administrations, are also set to expire at year's end. All of which leaves Americans with one eye on a December 31st deadline and another on midnight tonight. Income taxes for 2011 are due 2 days later than usual, since the 15th fell on a Sunday and the 16th was a holiday in the District of Columbia. Online, the link between death and taxes. A new study shows drivers are at greater risk of fatal car accidents on tax day. Plus, we have resources for late filers.